Yeah,
Ma'am,
previously
Okay.
also.
hygiene activities.
Okay. Work from home. Very good. Digitization. What else has the virus taught us?
Ma'am, hygiene
One
habits.
tiny virus has taught us many good things. What is that? So it has made us digitally efficient, which we were not there previously. Or if we were there, the efficiency level has increased, right? It has provided us work from home facility, which has completely increased our productivity to a certain extent in many cases. Right? Any other thing which the tiny virus has done? Yes? Any other thing? Nothing else?
Ma'am, importance of family.
The importance of family, right? So when I'm saying the tiny virus has done so many good things to us, let us talk all about good instead of whatever bad has happened. All these good things has also opened doors to do a lot of research. Okay. If you talk about digitization, you can take up n number of projects. You can research on n number of projects related to digitization. You can also do a lot of research related to work from home, finding out the opinion of the people, whether it is good, whether it is bad, working on this while we work on this funded research projects. Okay. We can also do a lot of research about the importance, as somebody mentioned, importance of family members. So, in other words, one tiny virus has opened doors and innumerable opportunities for research as well. Okay. And this is what we are going to cover up in today's session. That is how we can make our research more effective by working on funded research projects. Okay. So I hope my screen is visible to everybody. All of you can
Yes, ma'am, it
see.
is visible.
Okay.
Yes,
Yes,
So
ma'am.
this is the topic
ma'am.
which we
Yes,
are
ma'am.
going as I move ahead. If you feel you are not understanding anything, if you feel you need to interrupt me in between, please do so. Okay. So before I begin with this, there is a word in on my left hand side. To you, it will be on the right hand side. That is the word research. What does it mean? What does the word research means? If you look at the word very carefully, the word only is telling you the answer. What does the word research means?
To find out
My
more
screen is
facts.
visible, right?
Ma'am, research is something for like which is already existing, but to find out something in detail about that particular thing more.
Okay. So if
Ma'am,
we look at
search
the word
again.
which is flashing, yes, yes, somebody else is wanting to answer. Yes, please. Yeah.
Ma'am, search again.
Very good. Search again. So when we look at the screen, with the screen which is flashing, the word SERCH is circled. Okay, that means when I say research, it is made up of two words. One is the word re, and second is the word search. That means when I search for some information more and more again, over and over again, finding out new things about a certain area. For example, digitization. So, what are the factors which are responsible for digitization or digitalization in India? I will search for information over and over again. How do I search? That depends on me. Okay, so that is research. Has work from home really improved our productivity? I can do a research on that. That means I can search for information over and over again. Okay, that is what is research. When we search for information again and again and come back with more meaningful results, that is research. And something very important about research is research becomes all the more very interesting if we work on some funded research projects. Now, what is this? We will be talking about as we move forward with the session. Okay. So, going ahead further, I would like to show you a picture in front of my screen. Just a second. Yeah. Everybody can see the picture which is flashing in front of the screen? Yes, yes or no? Can I have a
Yeah.
thumbs up if you can see? Yes, okay.
Yes, ma'am. It's
So what is this picture? What all you can see in this picture? What all you can see in this picture? Yeah? Nothing? One side it's written, what is this? The other side, there is something happening. There is an image, right? What is there in that? Nobody can see anything. I'm only asking you what can you
Ma'am,
see?
it's
I'm not asking what does the image symbolizes. Yes?
I'm
What
kind of
all you can see?
multitasking or something.
Okay, a type of multitasking. What is happening in this multitasking? So there is a lady, as the figure shows, right? And with multiple hands, which signifies multitasking. And the lady is carrying some important objects in the hand. So what are the important objects which the lady is carrying? What is the important objects which the lady is carrying?
Ma'am,
Anybody can
Ma'am,
help me?
we can see a currency
Okay,
and
a currency
kind of a
is
important.
stock,
there.
something
Ma'am,
which is
financial
growing, stock
activity.
market or something.
Okay, so there is a currency, that is money can be seen. You can also see a device in the hand, that is the mobile, which looks like. You can see a briefcase or a suitcase, which she is carrying, or a laptop bag, which signifies this. What else?
Ma'am, she
Anything
has a
else?
kind of
Ideas
a
and
telescope or
imagination.
something which
Yeah,
signifies a long-term vision.
okay. A telescope, which
Ma'am,
signifies a long-term vision.
ma'am,
Yeah,
research also. I'm on 100 take to research also.
okay. So maybe this is a search instrument which she is using, right? What else?
Ma'am, she's
There's a
having
bulb.
a
Yeah.
light bulb which indicates new ideas or innovations.
Good. She has a bulb which indicates new ideas, right?
Also
And
the starts. Also the
okay,
starts means after search it starts about
okay,
the statics
that
of
And
also
graph.
she is holding
yes.
magnifying glass, which
And she is
symbolizes
holding
imagination.
magnifying glass. Correct. So the entire image is what is research all about. You have to think of a long-term vision. You have to think of a bright idea which the bulb signifies. If you want to get some funds for your research projects, the currency signifies that. You need to build networks, and that is why the device is shown, and that is why the globe is there. You need to document it. So that is why the briefcase, the suitcase, or the laptop bag is there. This is what research is there in a nutshell. So if you are planning to do research on digitization, you need to think from that perspective. You're planning to do research from work from home. You can do research on that. You're planning to do research. What are the good things which the pandemic has taught us? You need to think on those lines. So this is what is research all about. It is multitasking, but you need to address the following points, starting from the vision to insight, to ideas, to the money part, to documentation and building networks, right? So this is what we are going to cover up. We will cover up the money part of it, the aspect which talks about how you can work on funded projects. What is the importance of working on funded projects? So in next few minutes which we have with us, sometime the flow of presentation which we are going to give will be like this. We will be first learning about what are funded projects. We will be learning why do we need funds. We will be talking about what does the project cycle looks like, how to write a captivating research proposal. And in the end, we will talk about the challenges, right? So are you all in a good note to go ahead on this? Shall I move ahead?
Yes,
Yes?
ma'am.
Shall I get a thumbs up?
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yes,
going
ma'am.
ahead further. Now, when I say funded projects, What does the word fund mean? Fund. You
Ma'am,
want
someone
to
is
do
providing
research.
an organization or whatever is providing money to carry on the research, whatever expenses which are taking place.
Yes, that means, in other words, when you want to do research, if somebody gives you monetary support in order to do research, why is this monetary support needed? I will talk about when we will go a little deeper into the topic, right? So why are the monetary funds needed? To help us in research, to move forward in research, right? And to collaborate on that basis. So when some organization collaborates with you, provides you monetary support for your research project, right? That is known as a funded research project. We do n number of research projects as a part of your dissertation, as a part of your interns, as a part of your internship. You write n number of projects, but most of these projects are not given any monetary support. So one of the best way of shaping your projects in a better manner is to do a project by asking for a monetary support, right? And when we ask for a monetary support, we ask for a monetary support in two different ways. Either it is a fellowship,
First,
fellowship, okay, it talks about membership, all right. Or it talks about, let me give you an example. You, or most of you are postgraduate students. After this, many of you, those who are interested for research, might go in for a PhD or your DPhil, right? And you want to go in for a PhD or DPhil from University Grants Commission, that is UGC. You want to go in from UGC, you want to go in from AICT, All India Council for Technical Education. So you submit an application with a research proposal, and luckily your application gets accepted for a PhD or a DPhil. Once you get enrolled for a PhD or a DPhil, you will be called a fellow, or you will be called a fellowship, because your entire PhD expense will be met by UGC or will be met by an AICTE, right? So fellowship means you, every month you will be getting a type of monetary, which we call fellowship amount, of maybe 25,000 or 30,000, depending upon what research project you do. And within this is granted for 1 year, 2 years. If it's a PhD, it will go on for 3 years to 4 years as well. And then in that duration of 2 to 3 or 4 years, you have to work on a research project. So what is happening here? The government, the university is funding the entire your research PhD. If you are interested for your postdoctorate, you can also go in for a postdoctorate also, right? During this fellowship, you cannot work anywhere else. Why? Because you will be committed to work on a specific research assignment, the funding of which is done by the university. Okay, so that is known as a fellowship. So you can get funds if you apply for a fellowship. In India, there are a number of fellowship agencies. For example, you've got UGC, you've got AICTE, you've got other government bodies who also fund. If your university has a PhD program, they also bring about a lot of fellowship. You also have a fellowship program in management in most of the institutes, wherein fellowships are basically given. But the only thing is, when you take fellowship, you cannot work elsewhere. You have to work on a specific research project. Okay. Going ahead further, we have sponsored research projects. Now, what is a sponsored research project? Any idea anybody has before I go ahead? Sponsored research project. Sponsored. All right, let me give you an example. You are a faculty at BBDU. working and teaching there, and you are interested to do a research project on maybe digitalization or what are the factors which are forced for digitization. So you put in a research proposal. I'll come to you. Just there's a hand raised up. I'll come to you. So as we move forward, you apply for a research proposal, and maybe you can apply to UGC, you can apply for AICT, you can apply for any government body, you can apply for any private body, and the government will give you maybe some funds, maybe 20,000, 30,000, or according to their policy, they might fund you more for that specific research project. So you are working and you are also doing a research project. That is known as a sponsored research project. Okay. So any doubt anywhere before I go ahead? Somebody had raised the hand by the name of Redmi, the phone. So any doubt, please let me know. Yes? No doubt. So is the difference between a fellowship and a sponsored project clear to everybody? Yes, I go ahead. Okay. So when I say fellowship, you cannot work, you'll work only on the specific project. But sponsored projects are small projects which are funded, and you can work, continue with your job, continue with your assignments, and at the same time work on this research projects. Okay. Now the question which arises is, why funds? पैसे क्यों चाहिए हमको? What is the reason? Why for research we need money? We can do a lot of research like that also, no? So why fund? What is the reason behind it? Can I have some answers, please? Why do we need money for research?
there are researches in which we needs equipments which are very costly, and sometimes we need to travel from one place to the other, which is extremely far away for any kind of a research. So we need some amount of funding so that the research keeps going on and on.
Okay, quite very good and a relevant answer. So many a times
For
we do
resources
research. Anybody? Yes, yes, Avinash?
Yes, ma'am, Divya.
Yes, Divya. Yeah.
For the
Why do we
resources,
need money?
which are required in research process.
Okay, for the resources which are required in research process. This is why, yes, Hina, you raised your hand. Yes, Hina?
Ma'am, sometimes when we are enrolling participants whose daily wages are being suffered, then we need them to compensate somehow.
Okay, so this is another reason why do we do research. So basically we have three answers. One first answer which we got, we need funds for equipments. Very true. This basically happens in scientific research where we need equipments, or even if you're not doing a scientific research, you're doing a very large scale project wherein you're collecting data from 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people, or the researchers of that topic where you need to travel. For example, I want to do research on a tribal area. I want to do research on a forest area. I want to do research of how do people in tribal areas stay and what are the problems they face. I want to do research on the mobile banking. What are the problems people are facing in rural areas with regard to mobile banking? So here I need money because I need to travel. I need to collect information, which cannot happen at my own funds, right? So this is the reason I need. Once I get funds in my hand, money, of course, is a very important source of motivation. So once I get funds in my hand, it motivates me for the entire research process, because then you know this much of money you have in your hand, and this is how you need to move forward in your research, right? And second, very, very, very important thing, working on funded research project is like a feather in the cap. What does it mean? What does it mean when I say feather in the caps? If you write in your CV, a faculty writes, or maybe a student writes, I have worked on this funded project, right? It becomes a feather in the cap. Why? What is this feather in the cap? Any idea anybody has? What is this feather in the cap? When I say feather in the cap, it completely lifts your CV. It enhances your CV, not only in the Indian scenario, but also gives you a lot of international exposure. If you're looking for a career in academics, in research, as a faculty, working on funded research project is very, very, very important. It makes you completely stand out in the crowd. The way 10 CVs are received where nobody has worked on funded research project. And if your CV says you have worked in a funded research project, it makes you completely unique. And moreover, once you start working, you feel more passionate. You feel a lot of interest. I have to work on this. I have to utilize the funds. Such an agency is funding me, so that is how it is very important to have funds. Okay. So apart from the resources, apart from data collection, apart from data analysis, getting funds is very, very, very important. Once you get funds, you will be one of the unique people working on that particular project. You will see the change in yourself once you start working on your funded research project. Right? Any queries? I go ahead. Yeah. So now the question which arises is, we need funds, but who's going to give us funds? Right? In this pandemic situation, in this lockdown situation, everywhere people have started cost cutting. Right? But people are still funding today. Organizations are still funding today, because research is one of the most important areas if you want to take some important decisions in your life. Now, in this pandemic situation, a lot of agencies have started funding on this pandemic research only. The development of new vaccines that have come up, whether we should go in for a booster dose or not. How does the new virus mutates? Will the booster dose or two mix of COVID, Covaxin and Covishield mix, will it give the right immunity? All these are research which are basically funded, and people are going crazy for these funds. The reason is because once you get funds, you can do research in a better way. You have money, you can collect data from large number of people. If you talk about marketing, in marketing, you can do end number of research if you get funds. In the field of branding, in the field of advertising, in the field of consumer behavior, in the field of consumer psychology, digital marketing, one of the most important area. The entire world has completely changed after this pandemic. So you can do a lot of research in the marketing field. The same comes in the finance field also, a lot of research, the concept of internet banking. Some recent thing which has come up very interesting, the cryptocurrency, the bitcoins, the stock, how does the stock market functions? Here all you can apply for funds. You talk about HR, the work from home, the new thing that has come up, balanced scorecard, the concept of flexi working hours, how to improve the productivity, how to deal with recruitment. All these are places where research can be done. If we talk about operations, how the logistics, the green supply chain, right? So when I say research, it's not only limited to one field, that is marketing or finance. Name an area and you'll find research. You can do research related to your personal life as well. How do I increase my concentration? How do I do well in the field of academics? How do I become a better teacher? How do I become a better student? How do I get motivated, right? So why I'm putting so many examples here? Because research is one area that you cannot restrict to a specific subject. It will apply to all the areas, starting from your professional to your personal life as well. So, and when you apply for funds, you get a better structure for your research and you're able to do research in a better way, right? So coming to who funds it, you can ask for funding basically from your internal source. So if you're working in BPT, you can ask for funding. The entire management can work over it and develop a policy where they can fund certain small researchers which can be done by faculties, which can be done by students, which can also be done in collaboration, faculty, student, or from one department to another department. So this is internal source. There are also a lot of external sources, starting from government agencies. So you've got UGC financing, you've got AICT financing, you've got Indian Council of Social Science Research financing. A lot of government agencies are also there who like to give funds. And there are a lot of many new agencies that have come up because of the pandemic, because they want to promote research in this area. You've heard about Microsoft Foundation, Bill Gates Foundation. There are a lot of NGOs also who are ready to finance and give you funds for research. A lot of companies are also there. So Hindustan Unilever Limited, you can approach them. You can approach Procter and Gamble. You can
Ma'am,
approach.
Tata also.
You can
Tata
approach
company
Tata.
also.
So yes, you can approach Tata. You can approach Godrej. So all big business houses are also ready to promote for research, right? So that is why when I say research, you can ask for funds from anywhere. If you're simply a student, you don't want to apply to a government, you can ask your own college only, I want to do research, you can write a proposal and submit them. You can also do research, ask for funds from outside. A lot of NGOs, a lot of foundations, a lot of organizations, they all are funded. But this is something very important. If you get funds, you will do your research in a better way because you will get motivation when you will get money, right? So far, is it clear? You want to ask any questions on it before I go ahead? Yes? Fine with everybody? Yes? Good?
Yes, ma'am.
Kshitij, Vishal, Ayush, is it clear to
Yes,
everybody?
ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So now, when I say funded research project, this is what a funded research project life cycle is. You find for funding, किधर से funds हमको मिलना है. Then you develop a proposal, then you submit a proposal, you set up the entire project, you try to manage it, and there are a lot of ethics also that are to be kept in mind when we talk about a funded research project. So this is the entire life cycle which we will be discussing. Now, how to apply? When I say funded research projects, we have to apply where? So if you're applying for a proposal, if you're applying for funds, you can search or in newspapers, you can search against websites, you can search against magazines. There are a lot of groups also on social media sites also where advertisements are thrown, and you can see something which is titled as call for research proposal. So once you get call for research proposals, it has got an advertisement which talks about which domain they are inviting the research proposals, how much of funding they are given, who is eligible to apply for it, there's a deadline to it. Your first duty is to read the entire proposal properly. Okay. Once you read the entire proposal, you first check whether you are eligible to apply in it or not. How will you check? You will check whether proposals are invited in your subject area or not. Many a times proposals are there only in research area or only in HR area, which is not your area. Okay. Second, you check your eligibility. Eligibility means what is the minimum qualification or experience required to apply for these proposals. Okay. Third, you check duration, whether it's a fellowship, which will not allow you to work anywhere, or is it just a sponsored project they are invited, right? So these are few, and you check the deadline. You cannot just write a proposal overnight. If you have to write a proposal for funding, you have to spend at least 15, 20 days thinking over it, improving over it, and writing on it. Okay. So this is how to apply for a proposal. Now, the most important thing, see, winning a proposal, getting funds for a proposal is like a lottery or winning or like a lucky draw. We will say a lucky draw because out of hundreds and 50 of proposals which an agency receives, an agency funds only maybe 5, 10 or 15 at the maximum. So So everybody who writes a proposal, everybody's proposal is not accepted. So you are one of those lucky people if your proposal, the government or a non-government organization agrees to fund it. Okay. So something which is very important is when I say proposal writing, it is like baking a cake. The cake has to be baked very properly. A lot of ingredients, a lot of things are to be put into it to make it tasty. The more tastier the research proposal, the more crisp the research proposal, the more it will be acceptable. It is like participating in a competition, and this competition is very tough because everybody writes. No, they will not even look at your proposal. They will, if they look at the first line, is not only proper. Okay, so this is the most important part which we need to keep in mind. First thing, as I already said, read the requirements. You're applying for a proposal in UGC, you're applying for a proposal in AICT, you're applying for a proposal in Reserve Bank of India or State Bank of India. If it is against an advertisement, please read the advertisement properly. Look at your eligibility, look at the requirements. Okay, don't make it a hurried version कि आज उसको पढ़ा कल लिख के submit कर दिया. It will not help you to win a proposal. Okay. Second, give an ample time in writing. Never write a proposal overnight or just in 2 days and submit. It will not give you a result. Okay. And the third important thing is meet the deadlines. If you're applying through a website, automatically the notification comes, this call for proposal is closed now. So don't apply at 12 o'clock midnight for a particular proposal